AFTV got Ali here, big Crystal Palace fan. He's been on a Real Football Fan show before as well. Yep. And wow, what a game of so much incident. When you guys were 2-0 down, did you think you were dead and buried?
Never with our fans. We keep going, we keep support, we keep the belief. But for me, today's a watershed moment for Wilfried Zaha. I have watched him and the media narrative of Wilfried Zaha over the last few years, and for me it's got connotations of Raheem Sterling. And today he's been called a cheat, he's been told he's had a bad attitude, and that narrative's come from the media, and you can tell today it's filtered through referees, because I have been waiting for this moment and VAR has proved him right.
You know what, I've got to say, right, I was right behind where that incident happened, right? I was right behind it, and I sit with some of the most biased Arsenal fans you would ever meet to meet. And all of us were like, hey, hold on, man. That looked like a penalty. We all said it. We all said it straight away. That looked like a penalty. Obviously, we were all overjoyed that it wasn't given. And I have to say as well that even when VAR overturned it, everybody was like, you know what? It looked a penalty. And I kind of see the point where you're getting for. I kind of see the point where you're coming from, because he got a yellow card as well. So it was almost like that was a decision that was given because of who he is, more than judging it on.
But there were some Palace fans saying, I don't know if it's true, but this is a referee sent him off for 2 bookings because he got basically, as he does in every game, fouled to the core, 2 or 3 players. Troy Deeney said it, that he systematically fouled him. And he sent him off for arguing back about it. And I cannot wait to watch Match of the Day tonight. Those tired pundits who we pay taxes to pay their ridiculous fees, I cannot wait to see what they say. Because when he got a leg-breaking tackle against Watford stamped on, they said, oh, just take it as a compliment, Wilf, get on with it. When is English football going to wake up and see the talent that they have in this league, in Wilfried Zaha? Now,
that's why we nearly bought him.
But look, I'm around Arsenal fans. I get the vibe tonight that I'm allowed to be negative about Unai Emery. So he was lying when he said, oh, we went for Pepe because we went for the long term. Let's be honest, you couldn't afford him within your budget. That's why you didn't buy him. And he proved again today. I think he's been the best player in Palace v Arsenal games for the last two last season and today. And I think, you know, I fully respect as a Palace fan. I'm proud as a Palace fan that he respects Ivory Coast. But what a tragedy. English football, we capped him in a friendly 3 years ago and we never followed it up. Who would you rather have in the England team at the moment? Wilfried Zaha or Marcus Rashford?
True.
Could you imagine bringing him on? Could you imagine bringing him on in the World Cup against Croatia? We're dead. Half an hour at the very least, we're going to get a good penalty shout. But you know, some point, someone is going to wake up. Let's go back. I mean,
he is a quality player without a doubt. And listen, anybody will know that I've always been a big. I wanted him. I'm happy with Pepe because listen, you were right. We couldn't get Zaha. They weren't going to let him go to anybody, right? I kind of heard from behind the scenes they weren't going to sell him anyway. Pepe come along, that was a brilliant buy for Arsenal. I think he's going to be a great player for Arsenal. But let me just ask you, as a fan of Crystal Palace, what did you make of the whole thing that you saw today with Granit Xhaka? One of our own players, his number comes up, ironic cheers, he's booed off, he reacts. Have you ever seen anything like that at Palace before? Has there been any sort of similar type incident that's happened?
A little bit. I mean, you just got to look at Granit Xhaka and you got to look at your past captains, Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira. He's got nothing in the bank to do that and get away with it. So yeah. I think you'd be very much in their rights to take him away as a captain. I thought it was a weird atmosphere in the ground. I think you've not moved on from Wenger. You thought suddenly you'd rejuvenate as a club. It's not happened. I find him quite robotic in his interviews. And I think if he's winning games, then you'll get behind him. But I don't think he's got a lot in the bank either, Unai Emery. And I think it was a weird atmosphere. When we were 2-up, I thought Arsenal fans are going to get behind them now. But it was like, I felt like I was in another part of London. I felt like I was in the Globe Theatre and I was witnessing a Shakespearean tragedy. And then Saka took the role of Lady Macbeth and put the final dagger in your hearts. But, I'm not saying that as disrespect to you. I think he's disrespected you. And I don't know, they've got a decision to make. Liverpool were very ruthless a couple of years ago. I spoke to my Liverpool friends and I said, Brendan Rodgers, that's a travesty what you've done to him, but they were very ruthless. Look where they are now. Do you need to get ruthless? Because you've got the setup. I heard your technical director backing Emery on Ozil. So you've got, that's rare to have everything running through. But have you got the manager to do it?
And let me just ask you finally, have you guys got what it takes to get in? No one's really talking about you guys. Shout for at least a top 6 this year, innit? The way you're playing.
Listen, Robbie, I've supported Palace a long time. Through 2 administrations, we're living, this is a bit of a dream at the moment. The fans always believe. What's great is the players are believing. We're all behind it. You never know. For us, top 10 would be good. I'd love to go on an FA Cup run, get back to Wembley. Let's keep going. Let's keep going for the top 6. The thing is, the Premier League's bridged. It's bridged. Could you imagine 10 years ago Palace turning down the offer, even 40 million for a player? Because of the money Sky have given in. We see what Leicester are doing. I know you're playing them very soon. Leicester showed what can happen, so who knows? I don't want to rule anything out, but we'll just keep going, take it game by game. I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season.
You too, mate. You too.
Cheers.